you doing, folks? Well, it's a pretty stormy day outside, so now is a nice time to be doing some indoor work. But I'm pretty sure everybody who works on cars has those few jobs they absolutely hate doing, and to me it's cleaning engines, and it's a necessary evil because, damn, I mean, it's pretty piggy here. Let's have a quick look around it. Now, I know in previous videos I've kind of shown you what it's like, but like you see all the crusted on crud and everything like that there. So today I'm going to have at that and I'm going to see what we can do. So I brought some supplies with me. I picked a few bits and pieces up. That is a pressure sprayer full of diesel. I have gunk, I have brake cleaner, I have oven cleaner, I have elbow grease, I have paint brushes, scouring pads, dish brushes, and more scouring pads, and a heap of blue roll. So really go through all of that, this process. My little pressure washer there, which I can't do much with in here, that's the problem. And my little Ryobi portable compressor there, which is going to be handy for drying things off. So in amongst all of this lot, I'm hoping I can make some headway into sorting out this mess in here. So let's get stuck in. Okay, so first things first, let's attack the bonnet, the inside of the bonnet. I'm going to use diesel on that because I don't want to use the oven cleaner. It'll just strip off the paint. So the oven cleaner is for kind of non-painted metal objects. That'll be for the engine block and stuff. First thing I need to do though is I need to cover that over down there because although it's filthy, there's certain chemicals that I don't want to get in there, and I also don't want to add to the dirt that's there. So I'll get a bin liner and I'll just throw that over there. Oh, I have my work cut out for me with this. Diesel hasn't really made much of an impact. It's hard to know, is it even painted black or what? I think there's adhesive on here from the insulation pads application. I'll try and work around it. If we can degrease everything, it'll be at least a good start. So let's try our old pal the elbow grease here and see how that gets on. Well, that's making an impact. Elbow grease is the job. It's unfortunate that water is dripping down my arm now. Let's use a little dish brush. Yeah. Let's try giving that a one bit of pop and see if it's going to look it off. Okay, it is adhesive from the insulation pads that would have been on the inside of the engine bay, so I'm not going to go too mad on it. At least I know it's not just dirt and gap. As far as everything else goes, it's coming off like so. We'll keep at it. You know, I wasn't going to film this, but you peculiar lot seem to find this interesting. I don't. I find it a pain in the ass, to be honest with you. But if you want to watch me cleaning a grubby engine bay from a 1974 car, be my guest, folks. You know what, folks, that is not bad. As I said to you, that surface there is covered in adhesive from where the insulation pads were stuck on, and there's a bit of kind of light corrosion and that along the rib there. Looks like there was a bogey looking repair done on the bonnet there at some point as well. So you never know what you're going to find in this car, to be honest with you. So yeah, next thing to do is just to give it a wipe down with a petrol soaked rag just to get the last of the kind of oil and grease and stuff like that off it, because what I want to do is I actually have some Built Amber Hydrate 80, which is a rust preventing compound, and I'm going to brush it onto any of the areas where it's needed and leave that to dry. I won't be doing that just yet. I'll do that at a later stage. If I have time today, I'll do it, but otherwise, like, my intention today is to get the engine bay cleaned. I don't necessarily need to paint everything just yet. Well, that is not bad, to be honest. I know it's not perfect, but I don't want it to be perfect. I'm not expecting it to be perfect. I just want it to be grease and oil and gack free, and most definitely was not that before I started. So the next thing I need to do is I need to tackle the actual engine bay itself. But before I start spraying chemicals on, well, I have sprayed chemicals on, but before I go scrubbing, I want to get a scraper at all of the gunge and gack and everything like that in there, and try and maybe move a few things like this. That lad there is the temperature sender, so I'll get that out of the way. We can move around, we can work around various kind of wires and pipe work and stuff like that. I don't want to go removing everything, but you know, I mean, let me just push that down there. So keep the cylinders out of harm's way. So let's see how we get on with this over here. So this is probably the dirtiest part of the engine bay over this side, so I want to try and get that done next.
Just falling off it. What I did was I came up here one of the days and actually I showed in the previous video I hosed out the whole engine bay with that elbow grease stuff. So it kind of did a good job of loosening stuff up while I was waiting. Just unfortunate the paint is all coming off along with it. It suggests to me that there was a brake fluid leak around here, but we'll deal with that when the time comes. I don't know why I didn't do that before. Now I can actually see what I'm doing. I think I'm going to have to remove the wiring harness, folks, you know that? It's in my way. I mean, I know it needs a clean as well, but I'll do that separately. Like, everything in here is just thick with gunge. There was some places it was like a ½ inch thick. I'm not even exaggerating now. I've decided the only way to do this is to use a little bit of water, but what I have is I've got a bucket underneath that's going to catch the runoff. So let's hope this works. So we'll see what happens. Well, that's working. So what I need to do now is I need to do a bit more agitation and just try and scrub some more of the gack away. So I'm just going to do along here the channel on the around the engine bay as well. The bucket's catching most of the water, and when it doesn't catch, I'll be able to mop up afterwards. Not ideal pressure washing indoors, but needs must. Progress has definitely been made, folks. As I said, I don't really need to get it perfect, but I just wanted to get a lot of the gunge off and that, like in a heavy kind of crud. And you can see there now, you can actually, the chassis rails are available for inspection now, which is great, because that was one of the things, you couldn't see anything. But one thing I will say, folks, and this is the big thing, there's no rust. I mean, I'm really, really impressed. There's surface rust over there, but it's not, I'll give that a lick of paint, it'll be absolutely fine. So I need to do this side now next. that isn't as grubby as the other side, so hopefully now it'll be a little bit easier. And then once we have that done, we can do the engine block itself and try and de-geek that a little bit. But before I do any of that, there's one other thing I want to do. The front subframe is removed from the car, which means I can actually get at it a lot easier. Plus, I can use oven cleaner on it because, you know, I'm going to be repainting it with Port 15 anyway. So I want to just get all the crud off it before I kind of start about trying to kind of get it rebuilt. So let's get the scraper at it first. Say what you want about this crud, but it was stopping me from roasting. Crud is not exactly my preferred method of preventing against corrosion, to be honest with you. I prefer paint and underbody protection product, not a half-inch thick of jack. But it's the absence of anything else. I think it would have been an absence of anything else in this car. This is what we have. So. Okay, so we are suitably scraped now, so next thing to do is I'm going to give it a preliminary pressure wash, and then I will apply some oven cleaner and leave it to soak while we get back to the engine bay. Okay, let's leave that soaking for a while anyway, and we'll get stuck back into the car. I think I'll start by removing the screen wash bag. God knows what it contains. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to want to spill it on myself. Okay, so now that the screen wash bag is out of the way, I'm going to just start hosing everything down, and we're going to get stuck in with our dish brush, and then we'll go over with a scotchy, pressure wash it, and then hopefully we're good to go. I have to say, guys, I'm really impressed with this elbow grease stuff. It's really doing the job very, very well. I'm not endorsed by them in any way, in case anybody thinks I am. I just, when I see a decent product, I like to share it with people. So. Okay, that's definitely a lot better now, the whole operation in here. No, it's not perfect, but you know, I didn't expect it to come up perfect. What I was hoping was that it would come up well enough so that I could inspect it and hopefully find no rust, and I have definitely been very, very fortunate on that, because there is no rust, literally at all. The chassis rails are absolutely perfect. The inner wings are perfect. Engine, you know, where the engine mounts on is all grand. Even in around the brake master cylinder, although the paint is missing, there's no rust. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just get the compressor and I'm going to just blow any of the water out of it. And then I will have a look at doing a bit of a job on the engine block itself. But first, what I want to do is I want to pressure wash the front subframe again and get the caustic soda off it, and yeah, that will hopefully come up nice, and it means that I won't get destroyed when I'm stripping it. Okay, the pressure washer's out of water. It feeds with a bucket, but yeah, you get the general gist anyway. I'll get some more water and keep going at this anyway, just get the last of the caustic soda, the oven cleaner off it. and then we can just have a look at the engine. I don't think I have time to do the engine itself today, but the actual what I've got done now so far, the engine bay is clean and the front subframe is clean, so that's a massive win today. I'm really happy about that. So yeah, let's just finish that off.
You know what, folks? I know I said at the beginning of this that I wasn't looking forward to this job, but I actually found it quite satisfying, simply because of the fact that I feel like I actually made a bit of progress and I improved the car, let's just say. And you know, every job I do, I'm trying to improve the car and eventually get it to the point where it's actually roadworthy and we can take it out in the open road. I fully expect that's going to be a couple of years from now at the rate I'm going. No, I mean, I can only do so much. But let's have a look at the engine bay now. So, I think we definitely made a good impact there. A lot of the heavy sludge is gone. And the thing about it is now is that what I can do is I can put the engine back together, refit the subframe, and basically get the car back driving again. And then at a later stage, I can bring the car to somewhere where there's a steam cleaner and give the engine bay a good blasting then, you know, and get the last of the crud out of it. So that's why I'm not all that fussed about getting it surgically clean. I just need it to be clean enough to work on and to inspect and all that. So anyway, the next step is I have a box load of parts at home in my garage for the engine here. That includes a water pump, it includes timing chain and tensioner, big end bearings, crankshaft bearings, piston rings, and a rocker shaft, rocker bushes, and the cylinder head should be ready to collect soon enough as well, so it's got hardened valve seats installed. Carburetors are now fully overhauled, as you've seen in previous videos. The distributor is fully overhauled, the electronic ignition kit is installed in that. I have cleaned up the manifold, I've cleaned up all of the kind of extra bits, ancillary bits that go on the outside of the engine that I removed. And the next thing really I need to do is I need to clean down the engine bay, clean down the engine block in the engine bay. I'm not going to do that today, I don't have time. And once that's clean, then I can go about refitting the pistons. Now, when I was actually cleaning the pistons, I found there was a lot of solidified carbon inside the ring grooves in the pistons, and it took a hell of an effort to get out, but that certainly wouldn't have been helping the running of this engine, having all that carbon in there. A couple of the rings were stuck, a couple of them were probably close enough to breaking, so definitely a good move taking the pistons out, you know, without a shadow of a doubt. This engine would never have run right if it didn't do that. So good call, and thanks to all who gave me the advice along the way, and to please do keep the advice coming and the hints and tips and your own experiences. You know, one of the things I find really good about running this channel is the social interaction side of it, and having a chat with people who, you know, have MGs or who have experience with them, or, you know, or people who just like them or whatever, you know. I mean, it's a great thing, you know. I mean, it's really what makes it worthwhile. I never feel like I'm alone in the workshop when I have the camera on, because I feel like, you know, everybody is there with me, and you know, it's fun, it's enjoyable, you know. I mean, and if you ever wonder why I do YouTube videos, that's the reason why. That as well, too. I actually do have a bit of a background in media production from years gone by. You wouldn't think it from my editing style or video style, but low budget is the key here. So yeah, anyway, I think I'm going to leave it there. I have to wrap up. The place is an absolute disaster area, so yeah, it's going to take a bit of doing to sort out. I have to drag that monstrosity in as well. Not the van, the subframe. I have to drag that back inside and throw it back in underneath the car, and yeah, anyway, I have to clean up the workshop. So let's leave it there, folks. Thanks very much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I shall chat to you in a future video. Talk to you soon.
Bollocks.